Hi, welcome to another episode of Bites. Today we want to talk about relationships. There are several types of relationships. You can have family relationships, you can have mother-daughter relationships, you can have son and mother relationships, you can have love relationships, you can have friendships, you can have courtships, you can have different relations all over. Some persons even have their network relationship. That is where persons on their Facebook has now become their friends, have become a part of their space, have become a part of their family, and every other aspect concerning them. But relationships, one of the key things is that people do not understand relationships. So we want to talk a little bit about understanding relationships and the sensitivity of the relationship. Whether it is that you're having a mother-daughter relationship, family relationships, or you're having personal relationships, or you're having courtship, marriage, child with stepmother, stepfather, you have to understand relations. With relations, in spite of the word of saying relation, there is something relative about that relationship. So that's why oftentimes we say that for family relations, for example, we say that that is my relative, that is my brother, my sister, my cousin, etc. So there's something relative about each relationship, and each relationship speak. So that's why persons say they don't understand their partner, or they don't understand their friend, or they don't understand the mother, or they don't understand the nature of the being that they're dealing with in any given relation. However, you have to, firstly, to understand them, you have to ensure that you observe them. If it is that someone keeps kissing you in a love relationship, that is a language of itself saying that I want to be kissed in return. I want love and affection and attention all the time. And you can read into this, and if it's not that they want it all the time, it means that they want it most of the time, or it means that they want it sometimes, or it means that they want it at least somewhere in their relationship. Because what you give in a relationship is what you want to get back. But nobody wants to say that that is indeed what they want, because some law of relationship saying it proves you weak, it makes you seem like you are not the person that you ought to be, it makes you seem like you can't stand alone or be effective. But expression in relationships is a very important aspect of relationships. So there's no need to hide it, no need to be afraid about it. But the real nature of understanding relationships and relations and persons and what they expect from you is to look at what they give to you. Now there is an aside to relationship that is deeper than just observing what is given to you. For example, someone always gives you roses during courtship to get your attention, to get you to like them, and to get you to notice them. But it doesn't mean that the person always wants to be giving you roses. So you have to take it beyond that and observe people and the relation that they're providing to you, and see how they are, how they behave, what they like, what they don't like, what they do, what they don't do. Because it is effective to do this when you think about the fact that if a person punches you or bullies you all the time or talks aggressively to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how that person is expecting you to treat them. So you might interpret it from the first point that I spoke of to say that this person wants a bully. So if this person is bullying me, they want bullying in return. But you really have to nature observe the person a little deeper. So it is more than just that, but it's more of observation deeper. In this observation deeper, you want to take into consideration the person's background. So by just generally talking, they will tell you, oh, my mother was abusive, or my father was abusive, or maybe not. Or maybe they will tell you that they grew up rough, or they grew up through some circumstances that made it hard for them to cope, and so what they have done is to get themselves to behave tough. So they put on this mask of toughness, which they display to you, but it's not necessarily that they want to say to you, give me that treatment or behavior. So by understanding the deeper relations, you will get what it is that the person wants from you. But most times though, it is more likely than not that whatever they give, they want. So if they cuddle you, they need some cuddling too. If they shop for you, they probably want you to shop for them too. Relationships have a language, and you have to tap into the language other than just saying, I don't understand my partner, I don't understand this, I don't understand that. Observe, take heed, and make pointers to develop better relationships for yourself and for those that you have relations with. Another key thing you want to think about with your relationship is that you want to have the best relationship. So you want to have the best friendships, you want to have the best courtships, you want to have the best marriage, you want to have the best family relationships. And this is where you have to go deeper. You have to find out for yourself what your family like, what the family member doesn't like, what it is that they would like for gifts, what it is that they would like to do for their vacation, what it is that they have in mind for their dreams and plans. So to get to best relationships or the better relationship, you have to take that time out to know the person that you have relationship with. And it's time well needed, time well spent, and time well deserving. If it is that you have any interest in that relationship, you would have given it that time, or you would give it that time and would not see it as any burden at all. And also, I want to take into consideration that persons are a whole entire being. They have a lot to face during the day. They have a lot that they face with their families as well. They have a lot that they face with themselves. They have a lot that they face all together as they live and live as a being. So you have to ensure that you accommodate the self, the person in relationships, that you don't bombard their space, that you don't disturb their being, that you don't do the wrong things to upset them all the time. You have to understand that they themselves are going through their lives with their circumstances. So for example, if someone you have a relation with came and had a stressful day, they didn't tell you that the day was stressful, but they started to behave negative towards them and say, why are you bothering me? And you interpret it as being peach to you to say that. They don't want your attention, they don't want your bother. No, you have to stop and give them that space and even analyze for yourself, why is it that they're behaving this way towards you? Because there are more than one element around us to affect us in any given day. So just to recap on the pointers, relationship takes deeper commitment, so dig deeper. Relationship takes time, the time out to know what person likes, what the person dislikes, how the person behaves, why the person probably behaves, how they behave. Relationship takes your response and action as well. So if it is that I give you love, I expect love in return. Relationship takes you to the person's root, whether their family life was like this, whether they grew up like this, whether they have a tough mask, it takes it to the root. And the relationship overall is a process of understanding the self. So you have to go back and understand the self of that person to see perhaps what affected their day, why they behave like that, to understand that they have a self, they're given the space and the time to think and to be their own being and not to bombard them all the time with your thoughts and your opinion and your space. So be mindful of these. Have great relations. Take time for your relations. Love. Move beyond the fact that you're saying that it's hard to cope. It's hard to get a relationship with this person. It's hard to overcome this. You can. And also, lastly, forgive.